Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Patch. This week, The Patch is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Right there. We'll talk about them more later. By Dollar Shave Club. Spin that thing. So, here we are, The Patch. We're talking about video games. We're talking about video games we've been playing. And I just want to make a quick mention. If you're watching the live stream right now, if you're a sponsor on Rooster Teeth and you're watching the live stream, stay tuned after the credits. We're going to do a special segment about How to Fool Boyfriend. But if you're not watching the live stream, then just watch the next video in the playlist, and you'll see our discussion purely dedicated to How to Fool Boyfriend.
That's the Game of the Week Club, or whatever we're calling it.
And loved.
Game of the Week Club.
Well, let's not go that far.
That's a little redundant.
I have a lot to say about that game, so I hope we have enough time to talk about it. But we're going to talk about that later.
All right, yeah,
later.
Moving on.
So, yeah, stay tuned through the credits if you're watching the live stream right now. Moving on. So, I don't know what everyone else is playing right now, but I've been through a few games since our last patch.
You've been through a lot. All right, lay it on us.
One of them I did not enjoy. Has anybody else played Sid Meier's Starships?
Yeah.
I saw reviews on that and then just decided I didn't want to waste my time.
The reviews
awful
are too beneficial. The reviews are too kind to that game. It is like a portion of another game. It's like if this was a small portion of a bigger game, it would still need more improvement.
This looks like Homeworld to me, just because I guess I just played Homeworld, like that kind of. I'm in space and I'm sending stuff. I don't.
We're in space,
strategy.
But we're only all in a flat plane.
It's that Star Trek world where no one ever goes up.
Yeah, and you can use asteroids as cover. And like every mission's the same. Every mission, like there's flavor text for it, but it's like, oh, there are pirates in this system. Protect the world. Oh, there are pirates in this system. Protect this spaceship. Oh, there are bandits in this system.
Okay.
Oh my
bandits,
god.
Though.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's basically an RTS, right? But you only have one army or fleet in this case that can move around, and you can't split forces or anything. So you just have the one battle group.
Correct. You can add additional ships to it, and you can upgrade the ships, like add engines or add shields or weapons.
Right.
But it's just like, I don't know. It's just really hollow, man.
Also, you can't full screen it, right?
Correct. I spent about 10 minutes trying to figure out how to full screen the game the first time I played it, and I was like, oh, you just can't.
I mean,
sounds awful.
I get the impression like it is an iPad title, 100%, that they just happen to port over to Steam as well.
And maybe on the tablet it would be better, but on my PC I was just like, what is this? This isn't
so underwhelmed.
This isn't even a mini game, you know. It's like they didn't even finish that far. And I mean, they got like, I don't know, I feel like it's a cash grab. Like they put the Sid Meier's name up top and everything, and it's just like,
you feel like it's a cash grab, but you fell for it.
I did fall for it, so congratulations, you got my $15.
Wow, $15?
I think that's what I paid for it.
No.
Let me look it up.
That looks like a $15 game.
That did not. I mean,
I believe it.
She shouldn't be.
I mean,
what
price tag would you put on that turd?
Maybe $4.
$4?
I just paid $4 for? Did I pay $4 for Monument Valley, or did I pay $15?
You know, when they're putting it out, they're not like thinking
great.
This is a turd. They're thinking this is a $15 piece of content that people are gonna love.
Be real with yourself, you know.
Yeah, well,
if it was $4, I'd probably be okay with it.
Yeah.
You know,
don't worry. Give it a week. It will be $4. You're just an early adopter. That was your problem.
My internet's really slow on my iPad. I'm loading the Steam page for it right now to tell you what the exact price was. Yep, $14.99.
I feel like this is a title that the first Steam sale that comes along, it will just be a giveaway with some other game. Like, hey, buy Beyond Earth and you can have starships too.
Yeah, I would totally see that.
Was there supposed to be some sort of integration? Because I know it's the same cultures, right, that carry over.
I think it's just like the same world.
Universe.
Yeah.
On it, like that little logo.
Yeah. Also, go play if you want to fly in space, starships.
There you go.
No. If you want to fly on a flat plane in space, starships. We have not invented up or down thrusters.
Are you drinking out of a vase again?
Yes. I don't think the last time we called out that it was a vase. Like, sometimes we run out of glasses here.
Is that what happened, Gus, or do you just like it?
I think you just
Let's
like it
be
now.
honest.
Well, the first time that we were out of glasses, and this time I was like, okay, the vase is there again. It holds a ridiculous amount of water. I feel like a plant. I'm getting water from a vase.
It's too big for the coaster.
No, it's like almost good. It's very similar.
All right.
So
starships, bad.
Starships. I mean,
what else are you playing?
I don't know. I feel bad saying so many negative things about a game because I'm sure a lot of people put a lot of hard work into it.
Gus. Let it all out.
like you said, if it was $4, $5, maybe it'd be okay. But 15, I was really disappointed. Also played How to Fool Boyfriend. We have a separate segment for that. And also played Tales from the Borderlands Episode 2.
Ooh.
I've been hearing such good things.
Tales from the Borderlands Episode 1 was my favorite piece of Borderlands content ever. Tales from the Borderlands Episode 2 is even more phenomenal and grandiose and great than Episode 1 was.
I haven't played it yet, but I was watching over Jeff's shoulder as he was starting it. And he let out one of the biggest laughs I've heard from him in a while early on. And then I noticed he was doing interesting things with eyeballs. So,
yeah.
It looks like there's a lot of really fun stuff in the episode 2. I can't decide if I want to play it now or if I want to wait.
Well, see, the thing is, I had that thing where I think we talked about Telltale games previously, where I said I debated waiting till after the whole thing was done and playing it all at once. But they released that teaser trailer for Tales from the Borderlands Episode 2 that was so good. I said, no, I'm not. There's no way I'm gonna wait. And to make me feel better about it, at the start of Episode 2. They had a quick recap of Episode 1 that was done really effectively. Like, normally the Telltale recap is just, like, key points. Like, just key decisions. This one, I felt like recovered the story effectively. So I was like, oh, right, I forgot about that. Oh, and then it was like, okay, it was like, okay, time to get back into the game. I thought it's an amazing piece of content.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then it might be more beneficial to go ahead and play them as they release, because you don't want to sit through that recap if you're just going through straight.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to, I did that an hour ago. I don't need to see that again.
Yeah, that's right. A little bio break. I think that's really what's been eating up the most of my time. What about you guys? Been playing anything new?
I got Ori and the Blind Forest.
Oh, how is that?
I'm about an hour in. It's really good so far. I really like it. Ashley warned me that the beginning was going to be sad, so I think it didn't surprise me as much.
She busted out.
You were prepared for it.
Yeah, I was prepared. So.
And then people saw her crying, and it's made them cry. It was the whole yawning fiasco.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was prepared, so I didn't cry, but
not a tear.
No.
Meg Turney, too hard for crying.
No, that's not true. You should have seen me in the Furious 7 screening. I was like...
Wait, for Fast and the Furious 7?
For Paul Walker, okay? Why don't you just back the fuck up?
Oh, he was barely in the movie.
You
know shit about that movie. You haven't seen the movie. Anyway.
We won't do spoilers for it, all right.
This is not movie cast. I'm blushing now because I was talking about crying Fast and Furious. Or in the Blind Forest. Really good. Except for the only thing I don't like about it so far is that it tries to introduce about 15 different elements at the same time. So you're like, oh, that's shiny, I'll touch it. And it's like, you got an energy shard. And this is what energy shards do. And then it's like, you got this other thing. And it's like, you get them so back to back. You're like, whatever that thing does. I forgot what that thing is. Okay. I have to spend skill points. It's like an RPG. Like, you have skill trees you can spec out. And so it's a lot of things at once. Like, it's a platformer and an RPG, and I don't know if that's going to become too much right now. I feel like it was a lot, but it was still manageable. And also, I'm excited to see where the story actually goes, because there is a really cutesy story.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, it's so cute. And it's sad, but I hope to see where it goes. I hope they get reunited.
It's such a pretty art style.
It is. It's really cool.
Though they did kind of, I'm only looking at what we got shown on the screen. It's almost like they stole the character design from Stitch.
Oh,
Lilo and Stitch for this character.
It looks like Cube from Madoka. That's what he looks like, a little Cube to me. But yeah, it's interesting. But there are some stuff that I felt like the design wise was a little strange. Like, things look a little too shiny sometimes to me. Like a little, I don't want to say too fake, because obviously it's all fake, but like it sticks out.
Hey, that's next gen. It's all got to be shiny. Lens flare.
Is it trying to get your attention,
HDR.
or is it just like anything random stuff in the background?
Sometimes like the title card. It's like there was like a graphic in the title card that I was like, oh, weird. Like that's a strange design choice. Also, you have this thing that follows you around and like fires. Like you can't punch or do anything. You just have this thing that follows you around and it fires out lasers for you. That's cool. That gets a little repetitive when you're like, okay, I fired the laser. Okay, it's gone. Now fire the laser. Now it's gone.
Do you control it, or does
you hit you tap
okay.
X, I think, to fire the laser. But it just fires it until the thing is blown up. Like, you just keep tapping it. But there's nothing to it. Like, there's no skill to it. It's like I just stand far enough away that it can't hit me, and then I hit this button over and over again. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. I'm excited about it.
I'm looking forward to that. I have not gotten around to playing it yet, but
and it had a lot of promise. People seemed really, really into it. So that Towerfall, of course, and Monument Valley. I got on my phone for a plane trip, nice. And it's been really good. I just heard so many people talk about it, And it has a very oh god, what is that?
Well, what is it to start with?
Oh, Monument Valley is a mobile game,
Mm-hmm.
and it's from point A to point B. Sometimes you have to slide bits of the map. Sometimes you have to flip them over, stuff like that. But it has a very what is that? The Unfinished Swan. It reminds me a lot of that game with the story, like the way they tell the story.
Oh, it's like an Escher painting.
Yeah. So there's like impossible physics. So if you have something that's like standing like this, and then you have like hi. Okay, so you have something that's standing like this, and then you have something like over here that's obviously shorter. If you can get the perspective to make them look like they match up, even if you know that they're actually like this or whatever, you can walk from thing to thing.
Okay.
As long as they look like they match up, then you can move. You can traverse that. So it doesn't actually. Yeah, it's very cool.
And you look like you're playing the characters from Spy vs. Spy.
It does. It's a little girl in a hat, but it definitely looks like it. And there are these weird crows that caught you every time you go by. They don't do anything to you. They can't hurt you, but they'll just be like, ah! It's so weird.
Crow Simulator 2015.
Yeah, exactly.
From the people that bought you Goat Simulator and Groat Simulator.
Groat.
Both doing very well on Steam, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, Goat Simulator is up for, or the goat from Goat Simulator is up to be a courier in Dota.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That's crazy. Didn't they have another crossover? Fuck. Let me think. I gotta look it up.
Most successful goat ever. Yeah, I've actually been playing Battlefield Hardline. And I gotta say, I've got to give that game a compliment that I never thought I would give to a Battlefield game. It's got a interesting single player. Like Battlefield 3 was abysmal. I just couldn't pay attention to it. It completely lost my interest very quickly. I tried to struggle through it and I just couldn't do it. But Battlefield 4, they've set it up like a procedural... Battlefield Hardline. They've set it up like a procedural cop drama. And it's episodic too, so it's not like levels. It's episode 1, and you go through the level. And they even do little touches like when you quit the game, it gives you a little like next time on, and shows you kind of the things.
All right, Telltale.
Yeah, similar to that.
But you don't have to wait for like additional episodes, right?
No, it's all there. It's just when you quit to make you want to come back. It gives you a little like, hey, when you come back, this is what's going to happen. Or little quick highlights of the next episode.
That does sound cool.
Is it the same all the way through? Like the same characters all the way through?
I'm only into episode 3, so I'm not sure. But so far, yeah. I mean, it's decently acted out so far. It's not like hitting you over the head with like over-dramatic cop drama nonsense.
Well, then it's not a real cop drama.
I think it's headed that direction, though.
Got a cheesy
Don't worry, it'll
one-liner
get there.
Okay.
They haven't dropped any major cheesy one-liners on me yet, but I feel them coming.
I feel my cheesy one-liners. It's tingling.
It's tingling. And then, there's, of course, the Battlefield multiplayer, which is, if you like Battlefield multiplayer, it's Battlefield multiplayer. The new game modes are pretty interesting. I really liked Hotwire when we did it in the beta. I haven't played it since. I haven't played it again in... Well, no, I take it back. I have played it once since the full game came out, and it's still good. I like it. It's an interesting take on that classic Battlefield capture. I mean, they've always had this idea of the control points that you have to take and hold, but this one really moves them around. Now you've got the bags of money or the cars in Hotwire, where the things that you're trying to capture are mobile, or capture or protect in some cases. So it's not as static. You don't feel like you're always just holding one spot.
Yeah, well, I mean, that also discourages, I don't want to say camping, but like trying to find a superior position to just hold and defend.
Oh, it
the whole
doesn't
time,
do that
right?
at all.
Because you're moving
absolutely does not discourage that at all. There's so many times where I've already been killed by that guy, and it's like, oh, hey, it's the guy from the bush again. Yeah, man. As soon as I finish where that bush is,
son of a bitch.
That bush guy.
Grassy knoll bitch.
Did you figure out what it was?
No, I tried to find it, but I can't find it. I just remembered there was a couple more things I wanted to mention about Tales from the Borderlands. I saw I have my notes here. I wasn't looking at them before. I did get annoyed, though, because early on in Tales from the Borderlands Episode 2, I found a typo in one of the decisions you can make. One of the characters tells Reese that he's acting weird, Wierd. I was like, oh, the fuck did nobody see that?
See, instead of making me mad, I'm always like, ooh, I found a typo. I feel superior for a moment.
Yeah, and plus, and the extra frustrating part for me was that I always play with subtitles on anyway, in case I don't understand something, I can watch it. And in the subtitles, they spell weird correctly. I was like, you can see they're right next to each other.
Gavin plays everything with subtitles on, everything, because the American accent is sometimes too fast for him, especially when we play Walking Dead. Anytime Kenny talks, Gavin's like just reading. He doesn't know. You're missing all the acting. Drives me crazy. I hate watching things with the subtitles on. Nuts.
I just don't want to miss anything.
You're missing the acting.
No, I'll look. I mean, I'll watch it. But if my dog starts barking or something happens, like, oh shit, I missed it. Like, no, I can just very quickly read and catch up.
It's mostly me projecting because I can't stop looking at the words. I'm like, stop. I can understand it. Stop looking. Oh, I'm reading the words. I'm reading the words, and then I read ahead of the actor, and then I expect what they're gonna say. Bad at subtitles.
But do you act it out properly in your head?
No, I'm always like, you're acting weird.
You're just hitting like the skip button. Once you finish reading, you're like, skip, 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 skip. All right. Then the other thing I wanted to mention was I read an article that was written on Kotaku by Anthony Birch, who used to work for Gearbox. Let me look up his exact title. His title with Gearbox was lead writer of Borderlands 2 and all of the DLC. And
he was the one. Hey Ash, what you playing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And he wrote this long article talking about how he feels that, despite the fact he was the lead writer, that they made a mistake making the protagonist so quiet in Borderlands 2, because the Borderlands 2 world was so loud and crazy, and your protagonist was just kind of like that archetypical strong, silent type, right? Like, and he talks about like characters like Gordon Freeman or games like BioShock where your main character doesn't talk very much, but how it didn't fit with the world and how they tried to rectify that with the pre-sequel and also now with Tales from the Borderlands. And I think it's a great move because there's definitely a lot more character. You feel like that character better, because before you had skill trees and everything, but it was just like, I don't know, just kind of blind. Everything was happening to you. Now it's like a lot more, you're in the mix with what's going on.
It does feel like a lot of times RPG, first-person shooters, or even just RPG games, period, have a lot of their hesitancy to develop a character that you play. They want you to be able to develop it yourself, but at the same time, sometimes it's nice to have a personality attached to that, even if that then takes you to the point where you're like, this isn't what I would do, but at least you're telling a story.
Yeah. Well, also, if you run the risk, if you try to have the player project their own personality, then you run the risk of there being just no personality at all on that character. And
I hate when, especially in Borderlands 1, because we're replaying it right now, and I can't remember if it was the same in Borderlands 2, the little quips, there has to be a limit on them. Like, it can only be like, I'm so great. Like she's Lilith, I almost said Lillian. Lilith says it over and over and over. I don't care how great you are. Shut your fucking mouth.
Look, she needs a lot of self-affirmation,
like, you kill something and she's like, you crit something and she's like, I'm so great, or whatever.
That's just like a support tape she's got playing in her
I know, right?
Like,
she's actually crying. I mean, that's so great.
You are the best at what you do.
People like me.
No one kills Scrags like you.
I wish there was a...
They're still killing Scrags in that one? I don't know.
Skags.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Boss Skags?
Lillian and Scrags. That's
nice.
a new drama. No, but I wish there was like a limit, that it was like, oh, I've said that in the last 45 seconds. I won't say that one again. Drives me nuts.
There was in this article, he mentioned some of that. Where was it? He mentioned some of the quips that the characters have, and he talks about a couple that got cut. And I was like, yeah, it's a good thing you cut that. Yeah, it's an interesting read.
MMOs always do that too. I remember I tried to play Ion once, and my guy kept going, Vimgahira, and I haven't played Ion in probably 5 years, and I can remember that stupid phrase to say over and over and
it's
over
like Zug Zug. It's just like there's iconic, video game sounds. Like you say Zug Zug, people are gonna know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, that was a great example of a company that went out of their way to make a stupid number of different things to say, because you could click on that guy for 30 minutes and he would continue to say new things until you got to the Easter egg one.
Right. And then that was part of the fun. It was like discovering each of it. But then
for
after
anyone
that, done.
Who never played those games, because they are really old at this point. That's Warcraft 2. World of Warcraft 2. No, Warcraft 2. Tides of Darkness.
Yes. That is an old game now, isn't it? It's like 20 years old, almost.
Yeah.
That makes you feel old and thinking.
That's right.
About
a more recent example.
Over.
The more recent example would have been StarCraft 2. You could click on the characters in that over and over and get different dialogue.
Yeah, but Zug Zug's more.
Zug Zug is pretty identifiable.
Yeah, it's more identifiable.
Zug Zug.
Another thing I wanted to mention was we finally got our first trailer for the Adam Sandler movie Pixels.
I just wrote a story shitting on it.
It wasn't as bad as everyone says. I mean, it's bad. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But there might be some salvageable stuff in there.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, after you.
This was the worst part when they.
when he's like, I'm gonna talk to him. Oh, my boy. And I'm like, oh goodness.
And also the whole the ghosts are Mini Coopers.
Yeah, Mini Coopers, but their license plates say Blinky.
But the thing I don't get is, there's that moment in the trailer where Adam Sandler says, "We're the only ones that can stop this." How? Every person in the world, their go-to, even people who don't play video games. What games do you like? Oh, I haven't played anything since Pac-Man. That's fucking Pac-Man right there.
I fully did not understand it. I was writing this story and I'm like, a team of fuck-ups? I don't know who these people are. Clearly they're not that great because they keep screwing things up in the trailer. And I went to the Wikipedia and it turns out Adam Sandler was like a video game champion from the 80s, and that's why they use him. And Kevin James is the president of the United States? What?
Please tell me his name's Paul Blart in this movie. Paul Blart, president of the United States.
President of the United States, and he's apparently Adam Sandler's childhood friend in the movie. Not put in the trailer whatsoever.
They dropped $110 million on this movie. We looked it up earlier.
Well, there's some crazy effects
the effects look amazing.
Yeah, when stuff dissolves into that voxel blocks and
the short that it's based on, Pixels, is really cool. So they had a great premise, and then they were like, we had this wonderful Adam Sandler. Do you want to you want to fuck this up? You want to ruin it?
Well, they saw that short, and then they saw the Futurama episode. It was Tales from.
Oh right,
yeah.
Right.
Where you can never
Tales
get
of
the
Wonder,
last
I think.
one.
No, it was Mild Interest or something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
This is literally the plot straight from that. They didn't even try and make it different, really, other than I'm assuming it ends in them not settling for laundry.
Well, yeah, this is. I mean, it's obviously it's also been in development forever. I mean, I think that.
Yeah,
Pixel
they shot
short,
last year, and the Pixel short was in 2010.
Yeah, it's been 5 years since that came out, and that led to this, and so it's a whole process.
Right.
Hollywood is slow sometimes.
Well, because I was gonna say I started writing the story about Wreck-It Ralph, totally well, actually they've been in development since 2010. Okay, well maybe not Wreck-It Ralph. Although Wreck-It Ralph made $470 million in the box office.
Really?
Yeah.
That'll do. Yeah.
Whatever. We'll plug Adam Sandler.
That's sequel money.
Absolutely.
That's no Frozen money.
What is Frozen at?
Make?
I'm actually gonna look it up. Okay. I said that. And,
you couldn't back it up.
I'm looking.
1.2 billion.
Wow. Way to make Wreck-It Ralph look like a chump movie.
The other one I was going to look up, and this is totally not gaming related, was Pacific Rim, because I was rewatching it on HBO this past weekend. And, that movie was considered, somewhat a flop financially in the U.S. A budget of $190 million, made $101 million domestically. I thought, I wonder how much it made foreign. It made $309 million foreign. So
what's a kaiju movie?
For a total of $411 million. Okay, that's why they're making the sequel.
You know what? Jupiter Ascending, I was just reading an article, sorry. Jupiter Ascending is making a ton of money overseas, even though it was considered to be a huge flop here in the States. It's making a ton of money in Chinese cinema or something right now.
Yeah,
I just read an article about it.
It's only made $46 million in the U.S., but it's made another $125 million foreign.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're pretty close to breaking even on production budget at this point. They're almost there.
That's shooting for 6 minutes a day. Did you ever hear that story where they wanted a particular bit of sunset, so they shot for 6 minutes each day, and once their 6 minutes was up, they would have to wait till the next day to keep shooting that bit over and over again.
Why don't they just get on a plane, fly west,
there you go,
set up and shoot some more?
You just have multiple sets around the planet.
If only there were computers that can make it look like that bit of sunset.
Or, I mean, you can't get some lights.
Yeah.
No. I'm sure there's a lighting
soundstage.
Come close to it.
One setup done.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They're probably shooting during that magical hour, or the golden hour,
the
golden 6 minutes.
The golden 6 minutes.
Everyone tries to shoot in, but you can kind of fake it. I guess not. Artistic integrity. Here, I'm going to read this. Want to remind everyone, this episode of The Patch is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. If you listen to this, I got the stuff over here. If you listen to this show, you heard me talk about DollarShaveClub.com. They deliver amazing razors for a few bucks. First time I heard about the club, I was skeptical. I didn't think a razor only cost a few bucks could deliver a great shave. It seemed too good to be true, but then I tried them. I got the most amazing shave I've had in years. My skin felt like silk. If you're still using those bags of plastic disposables, the ones people steal from the gym, just stop. Stop stealing. DollarShaveClub.com razors cost less than those flimsy plastic things, and the shave doesn't even compare. I can have a bunch of nicks and cuts on my face because I got a beautiful face. You look at it all the time. If anyone needs a high-quality razor, it's me. Don't be fooled by the affordable prices. These razors are legit, and you'll never go back. Plus, they've got Dr. Carver's shave butter, which Meg stole. If you're still using old-fashioned shave foam, you're missing out. Try dollarshaveclub.com/patch today. That's dollarshaveclub.com/patch. See? You like? Right there. That's it. Back to video game. Oh shit! There was a razor in here. I was just waving it around like nothing.
Ah!
That could have ended
It's a safety
badly.
razor.
Are there
It's
razors
fine.
at the gym?
What?
You said people
steal
at
it, yeah.
the gym.
Yeah.
Who has razors at the gym?
You don't have
gyms
razors?
Provide razors?
Yeah.
Or are you just stealing it from other
Stealing
people?
from other people.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah.
I don't want your
Nobody-
skin cells. Oh,
Normal, healthy people
or
don't.
do I?
Nobody wants what I've got. Let me tell you that. More. I feel like we have covered this bit of news before, but Elder Scrolls officially gone free to play.
Yes.
Xbox One, PS4 versions coming out in June. So, question is, are either of you interested in it at all?
No, and I will take my coconut water and I will sit back now because I am not.
Do you play many MMOs? Have you played any in the past?
World of Warcraft. I tried Ion for a month, just enough time for me to have to buy it, and then decided I didn't like it as much as WoW. That was fun. But World of Warcraft has been the sole MMO in my life.
I think out of every MMO, there was a solid period of time where if an MMO came out, I played it. I played just about every MMO. There were only two I'd ever paid for. I paid for Star Wars Galaxies for about 4 or 5 months, and then I paid for World of Warcraft forever.
So you didn't play the newer Star Wars MMO?
I did play. Oh no, I did pay for that for a couple months. Yeah, and then I stopped.
I played Diablo for about 2 weeks. I just realized I was like, what was that thing I couldn't sign into for so damn long after it came out?
Diablo 3.
Yeah, Diablo 3.
What about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I played some World of Warcraft, and then I did play Star Wars as well. That's pretty much it, though. MMOs, I was always so bad at the social aspect of it, because you get to a certain point, it's like you need to have a lot of friends, and I was never good at syncing up with a bunch of friends online.
Get some guildies.
Yeah, that was my problem.
Oh.
I'm bad at
You're not going in and finding anybody in some chats.
Yeah.
Not running any.
I'm not a chatter. I'm a lone wolf. What can I say?
I am too. I think maybe that's the reason that it's hard for me to get into those games.
I also love to run lone wolf, but then I phone my peoples in whenever I need them. But then I try to run everything by myself.
You're like, well, look at the time. Oh,
It's like a friend airstrike.
Yes. You should leave now, Mom. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I might pick it up if it's
I'll check it out,
on
sure.
the Xbox.
Yeah.
It's easier for me to just casually play something on the Xbox. I say this all the time, so I'd be willing to give it a shot, give it a look. I played the beta briefly before it came out on PC, like one weekend when it was up, but I haven't played it again since then.
Problem with MMOs for me is usually it's like a big time commitment kind of thing. I have a hard time just doing drop-in, quick run through some MMO stuff then out. So, and my life is not conducive to large amounts of time anymore. So I kind of just have to take what I can get with smaller bite-sized entertainment.
I also like that you're like, I'll give it a little here and there. You always come back. What are you playing? Well, these are the 16 games I played this week. Like you already juggle so many balls.
Well, hey.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to out you on the podcast.
There's already so many games out there. I'm always just trying to see everything, and I'm always, and maybe that's the reason I feel like I'm always behind. There's always some game I've missed, or some game that's shut up that I haven't gotten around to yet. We should mention that if like I said, we're gonna have the Hotful Boyfriend discussion later. If you all have a game that you think that we should play ahead of next week, tweet us, hashtag the patch, and we'll take a look through Twitter, and we'll decide what game we should play. And Ryan will hate us for it. Me? I don't want.
You suggested some pretty particular titles last week. I don't know. Maybe Criminal
Girls.
Girls.
No suggestions. I don't want to. I don't want to steer it any particular way. Plus, also I'm the only one with a Vita, I think, so it'd be hard. Oh no, you have a Vita.
No. Remember, I wanted to
get
it to play.
That's right.
To play Tempest.
No, it was Tearaway.
Oh, I have Tearaway, but I also there's a new Tempest on Vita.
What is there?
It's like Tempest 2000 or something, and it's only on Vita. And I was like, oh.
There was at the Dice arcade. You know, when the Dice event that's in Vegas, they always have like an arcade there that's set up with old games, and they had Tempest set up An arcade cabinet of Tempest. I don't think I'd played Tempest in probably at least 20 years. I'm not nearly as good as I thought I was.
It is so hard. My mom has an arcade cabinet of Tempest, and it is brutal. And I remember being a kid being like, oh, I got this. Get this big wheelie spinning, and it is so hard.
Yeah.
It is not kind at all. And there was some big drama with the guy who designed Tempest, who's saying that Atari is keeping him from releasing his game. I just saw the headline, but
Atari is keeping someone from releasing a game.
Yeah,
Atari is still an entity that can stop someone from doing anything.
So.
Or Atari is an entity.
And
I'm sure it's owned by somebody.
Of Atari, so I don't know what his deal is, but
yeah, I think what was it like? A little over 10, maybe like 12 or 13 years ago. I think Infogrames, remember them? They acquired Atari, and then they changed their name to Atari. But then I thought they were gone now. I don't know. Whatever. It's a long sordid history. This week Valve rolled out new rules for Steam users so that now people who receive money or non-monetary compensation to talk about games have to disclose it on their curated pages.
In the actual curator pages. And I assume reviews?
I believe so. Let me pull up the specific details on it. But I think it's a great step. So if you're talking about a game in a Steam review, broadcast, curation, green light upvote, or even a forum post, if it's compensated promotion at all, you have to publicly disclose that information. Oh, there it is.
Isn't that just how legally you have to do anyway? I mean, I guess Steam was slipping through the cracks of a forum that wasn't directly referenced.
Well, it's like them saying on Twitter you have to say #ad, but how many people actually do that, you know? Like, who's actually enforcing that?
Is that a thing? You have to say #ad?
Yeah, the FCC says you have to tell somebody.
I think it's the FTC, I believe.
FTC.
Yeah, and
says you have to.
I had no
Somebody
idea.
gives you something or pays you to tweet, you are legally obligated to put, like, ad, or people put, like, try to be cutesy, and they're like, part instead of partner, or like whatever, you know, they do stuff like that.
Hold on, I gotta delete like 12 tweets.
Don't you only have like 12 tweets?
all of them have been like, bye, Hatoful boyfriend.
I have 40. That's it. I only went up to 40 because I was talking about the 360 video I put out the other day.
Oh, right. I almost tweeted you something the other day.
I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, then I was like, there's no way Ryan's going to see that.
I literally just I heard you like in the background talking about 360 video, and I was like, what is Xbox 360 video? What does that mean? Like, in my head, I was like, Xbox 360 video. I don't know what that means.
Well, it's weird because YouTube added the functionality to do this, and this isn't necessarily directly gaming related, but it could be. I mean, there are things that could be done with gaming with this. But yeah, YouTube finally added the capability to upload a video, which is essentially just a flat 4K video, or any size, but 4K or at least 1080 if you want to be able to see any of it. It's a flat panorama image that it then wraps around the inside of a sphere, and so that you can, using Chrome or Android browsers, look around as if you were controlling a camera.
You just like click and drag.
You can click and drag. You can use WASD.
Oh, you can?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
A lot of people actually have a lot more success with that from controllability. But honestly, the place where it really shines is on an Android device. Because, as it goes forward, I'm sure the Google Cardboard will also be a great platform for that. Because that really makes you feel like you're standing at the spot where the cameras were, and you can look around however you like.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see. And the weird thing to me was watching the behind the scenes versus 98 that you put out. I can't believe that was so long ago.
Yeah,
I feel like that just happened like a couple of weeks ago, and then you wrote that it was filmed December 30th. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of people are like, "Oh, did they just fire a lot of people?" Like, no, that was before they were hired.
Right.
Like, that room was empty at the time. They were just moving everything around to get the desk ready to hire all the animator folks for RVB.
I think that was like in the 2-day period where they'd cleared all the desks out, and that room was empty, and it was amazing.
Yeah. So it's a really neat new direction for video. It's just that YouTube kind of created it, and then I have seen so little promotion for that. And there's only a few videos that actually take advantage of it.
Well, probably because it's difficult. The average person doesn't have a camera or a rig capable of filming that.
Yeah, no, it's basically what we use is a bunch of 6 GoPros that are then stitched together.
So you can finally talk about it.
I can finally talk about it. Though there are cameras, there are actually cameras coming to market now that are already just pre-stitching.
So one of if you should just release as much as you can. Like, do they have a category dedicated specifically to this? Because then you could just flood that category, and it's just all your videos.
Yeah, I don't know that there is a category, because again, there's only like 7 or 8 of them. I think they had a bunch of launch titles, and that was it.
Launch titles.
Well, yeah, essentially launch with the feature, and I'm going to tie this into gaming a little bit, because basically the hardware that will most be able to take advantage of this technology is going to be the coming of VR headsets, and Google Cardboard being among them. So with this functionality and with a VR headset, you can get a very real feel of presence somewhere just by putting it on, and then you can feel like you're in whatever room it is that video is taking place.
Interesting.
The only thing that's a little tricky to it, and there's some news on this that I have almost no details on whatsoever, but I'm going to throw it out there as a soundbite, is sound. A lot of people have been mentioning in the videos, like, why don't you hook it up to the binaural thing? And the problem is, if I attach... Binaural.
I was going to let it go.
No.
I keep saying it wrong, because that "in" makes no sense.
It doesn't.
But if you attach it to that, that's still not going to rotate. Right. So you turn left, and the sound still...
It doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it would not match up.
You would have to have an array of microphones. No, you'd have to have an array of binaural headsets. That you could then like click through as you move around.
As it turn around, or it needs to be in an environment where the sound positioning can be locked, like in Unity or something, or in Unreal Engine, where it can know that the sound is here, and then your head position, the sound stays in the same spot relative to your position of your head. So
filming with that would be horrible. That thing is a chunk.
It's a chunk.
That is a...
And moving it around sucks, because the more you move it around, and there's ways you can deal with it, but the camera positioning is very sensitive. So as it moves around even a little bit, then you get these lines that like do this, where the horizon shakes. Now there are tools that deal with that, but I think 360-degree video is going to be an interesting thing. There's already a Steam movie that was done in 360-degree video. I don't recommend it because it was awful. We talked about it.
We taled about that.
It was a complete waste of $15. They should not be asking money for that.
Did Sid Meier's put his name on it?
Not yet.
But he will.
But that's another thing that you, in the future, will be able to use your 360 headsets for, or your VR headsets for.
I asked about if they had a dedicated section for VR videos on YouTube, because early on, when YouTube first started doing 4K videos, I convinced Jordan that he should export all his animated adventures as 4K video, because there was not very much 4K video on YouTube. I said, you'll have the market cornered. Anybody with a 4K display will want to look at something. They're going to find your thing. But they never made like a bucket where it's like, here's all the 4K content. But if they did, we would have owned it.
Ahead of your time.
Yeah. YouTube. seeing through my schemes. Yeah, so I guess, that's actually one thing that I might be interested in a VR headset for, is the ability to see 360 video and move my head around. I'm still not interested for video games.
The death of directing, is it not? Now you're the director.
Well, it's not. I don't like it necessarily for narrative. I wouldn't want to watch a movie like that, like you talked about the Steam movie. But if it's behind the scenes or watching a filming like you did for Versus, that's interesting.
That is cool. I thought that was really neat to have, like, you guys. It's the chair race.
It was the chair race, yeah. And I do have several more films. So people have actually already mentioned wondering about the Jenga or Jingle, depending on which version. And I do have that in 360 too. Now, again, these things are really only interesting in the sense that you get the feeling of being there. It's not like, in a lot of cases, what we'll end up recording, the chair race kind of excluded, the 360-ness isn't really much of an exploit. Like, it's not going to be things happening all around you, but what it does make you feel like, and what we're hoping to deliver to our audience, is the feeling that you're there with us.
Yeah. Right. If you were standing there watching the filming happen.
Right, exactly. So, and it's going to be an interesting market. But there are some, 360, have you seen the Google Cardboard animated short? That was 360. No. It's one of the demos that comes with it. You should look at it, because it's an interesting, more narrative version of 360-degree video.
Okay. I'll have to check it out. I just need an Android phone.
Oh, happy to deliver.
They don't do...
Strap it to your face.
They don't do cardboard for tablets, do they? Because I've got an Android tablet.
I think you could download
That's
it.
That is actually going to become like people who are like tourists. They're taking pictures with their iPad. Are going to be like...
I don't understand people take pictures with iPads. The camera's so...
It's so horrible.
It's so awful. It's like...
Horrible.
What are you doing? You bust out your little Logitech webcam.
It's like, literally just a way to be like, I have an iPad. Did you know I have an iPad?
You want to see?
I got my iPad.
Look at all my pictures.
Here, let me take a picture of you seeing me having an iPad.
Awful. So I guess to continue talking about video, Sling is now the Sling service is now available via an app on Xbox One, and it makes me wonder about how successful this service is. Because before the service came out, when they first announced it, they said, "Listen, we know it's gonna be really popular. We're gonna let people in very slowly. We're gonna have an extended beta test." And then about 2 weeks in, they were like, "Fuck it, everyone can come in. If you want to sign up, sign up." And that's just like I feel like. And now the Xbox One app has come out really soon. I wonder if they're just trying to scramble and get people excited about it at this point.
They tried to like make it too exclusive, and they were like, "Okay, actually, guys, come on."
Yeah. It's like when you're setting up for a huge party at a club, and you like set up the rope, and then you're like, "All right, let's open the doors," and there's like 2 people in line. Like, "Uh-oh, hey, free drinks for the ladies."
Once when I was a kid, nobody came to my birthday party, and that's what it made me think.
Oh,
so
that's
sad.
awful.
That's totally what it made me think of. Real life, that actually happened to me. I was Sling as a child.
That's gonna be devastating.
Let's talk about it.
Do you need to air anything? Do you need to get it
I'm
out?
gonna make a Gone Home game that's actually just me talking about my birthday party.
You're looking for your guests.
The
And that's the
empty.
twist at the end is that there are none.
It's actually psychological horror, and I've killed everyone and stuffed them in a closet.
Over
Come
here.
to my party.
The empty table of presents. Over there, the untouched snacks. Over here, a trail of blood.
Ryan, I want to invest.
360 video. Just
There we
me
go. We'll do
crying
it
in a
360.
corner, then you move around the.
As you turn around
venue.
and take it all in.
Yeah, and then at the end you come with like the hair down in front of your face. Like,
Well, actually, a way we can tie this into more video game type stuff is previously we were talking about Lighthouse and what the technology that comes with the Vive or Vive. I know there's a right way to say it, and I still don't know what it is.
We decided it was Vive.
Vive. I just at the time we were talking about it, they were in the process of announcing what it was, and it is an IR blaster, but the main thing that it delivers is very precise location and translation of location into the game for both the headset and things that you're holding. So they've got the 2 little hand devices, and it was in like 100 millimeters or something. So it was a very, very precise and persistently precise location on the hand controls. And it indicated that pretty much anything, the technology at least, anything that is a static object, so flexible things not so great, but anything that you could put a battery in and was rigid, you could put those markers on and it will work with Lighthouse.
okay, I got some ideas.
Gun controllers, yeah.
Rigid things, huh?
So that's what they're offering up, is the technology that will precisely locate peripherals. Of course, there's a lot of things now that are doing that. There's the what was that other one? Hang on, I gotta look it up. There was one that was at South by Southwest that I saw that's coming out very soon.
South by Southwest. I'm trying to think of what it was. There were VR headsets everywhere.
Yeah, they've been doing. They were doing lightsaber.
Oh, I just saw people making fools of themselves with like whether they've got it. They were doing the lightsaber.
Welcome to the future, Meg.
You're the fool.
People
without
making
the
fools. If you have the headset on, you can't see how foolish you really look.
That's right.
I think it's gonna be like the silent discos where people have like the headphones in, but you go to a disco with your VR headset in, and everyone loves your dance moves.
And it's just like a dark, dirty room, and everyone's just sitting there with headsets on and headphones, like.
Exactly, and actually in the headset, it's you in just a dark, dirty room by yourself dancing.
Reminds me of those Febreze commercials where they put people in a room that was like, "Oh, take it off. Oh, you're surrounded by rotting, stinky meat."
That's exactly what happens when you unplug the headset.
It was the STEM system by Sixth Sense, which had 2 controllers also, which I think those were magnetically detected. But they had a demo where you could have 2 lightsabers, and you were doing the kind of thing where you're deflecting drone bolts.
Okay.
So there's a lot of videos that came out of CES, and those people were at South by Southwest as well.
Interesting. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to get excited about this.
Why?
It just seems so stupid.
Embrace the future.
Plus, I wear glasses.
Yep, that's exactly. You're never going to be able to sell us.
Look,
4 eyes.
I'm wearing glasses. We're all wearing glasses here.
Yeah, but you've got
It's a table
Benjamin
full of
Franklin
glasses.
glasses, and we have real glasses.
Just put on contacts.
Yeah, I can't wear contacts.
Also, the screen is this far away.
I
Yeah,
can't
but that's
see it.
exactly why, because it goes, ugh, and then it smashes into your. And that was dumb. I don't know why I actually touched it. Like smashes it into your
STEM
face.
system. Yeah, it's no good until they can find an effective solution for people wearing glasses who cannot wear contacts like me. I know I'm a freak. I'm not interested.
Well, look, the STEM system and Lighthouse technology, both of those are not dependent necessarily on VR. They will work with just you standing there looking at a screen, too.
Yeah, but then I'll see how stupid I look. That's the point of the
He
thing.
needs a blindfold with it projected into the back.
I need to look cool for once in my life. Please.
It's never gonna happen, Gus. Give it up.
No, never gonna happen.
Give up the ghost.
So I'm not thrilled. So what's all this? I don't know. Maybe one of you've kept up more than I have. What's all this hullabaloo? I used hullabaloo.
Hullabaloo, nice.
About the Nintendo NX, Nintendo's next handheld
I
gaming
believe there was a
device.
Foxy gentleman who did a story on it yesterday.
Man, people weren't happy with me for being the anti-Nintendo guy, which the best part was I got the early script from Ashley. It was like, before she'd pick someone to do it with, it was like someone who's not really big on Nintendo, probably Ryan. But I mean, it's as we said in the story, it's been 2 years since their last hardware release. It's not doing well, but they've never it's been a long time since they had an aggressive hardware system, one that is competitive with the level of graphics that other systems deliver. I understand that that's not really their bag right now. Like, they like the more simple, streamlined, very relaxed. Cheaper to produce? Well, not necessarily, but not as physics and realism intensive type games.
Very like family friendly.
Family friendly.
Somewhat.
Yeah, I mean, and not realism. That's not really what they go for. They look for more of the cartoony type delivery games. So, but that being said, there's a lot that you can do with more robust hardware that they can't do right now.
Right.
So the NX is supposed to be like an actual like home console or a handheld?
I believe it's a home console.
Home console, and they're not talking about it until next year.
Well, they're talking about it now, apparently.
Right.
it,
They're like,
yeah.
it was like, hey, it's happening. More next year. You can't do that in March of the year. You gotta wait till like November to be like next year.
I looked up at Gus's screen right there, and all it looks like it's a picture of Mario's face, but he had
Luigi.
it scrolled, or sorry, Luigi. You had it scrolled to a point
Does it
where
look
it's just
like
like
snot?
nose and then
Yeah.
mustache, and it looked like a woman in a bikini.
Oh, let me see.
It does.
It does.
Right?
What the hell's in the middle of her chest?
Well, it was scrolled up a little bit further, so it didn't really play that well.
Okay.
There we go. Look at that.
Oh. She doesn't have a cleavage line.
No.
Sneaky Luigi.
I want to play a lot more Mario and Luigi games now. Hey, what's that?
Also,
Bikini
what's
face.
The line on her stomach. His mouth is like this
All right.
weird.
She's had a little work done.
Uniboob.
There's a C-section
She
scar
had,
in there. or
yeah,
something.
there's a little tuck there. It didn't go so well. It was one of those
We
discount.
don't talk about it,
Yeah.
okay?
So, I mean, I don't understand why they even brought up the NX to begin with, because this arose out of a press conference they had to announce their partnership with DNA, who they were going to be partnering with to bring Nintendo titles to mobile devices. And then they're like, oh yeah, and then the NX, we'll tell more about it next year.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It seems weird to me.
Maybe because they thought somebody else was going to leak it or talk about it, or to get people excited about their mobile games. Added something else.
So yeah, I guess this company DNA is they've been around for a while making these. They use the Mobage game network or platform to produce games, and I've seen that company Mobage at like South by Southwest Gaming in years past. So I've heard of them. I'm at least somewhat familiar with them. And they have some big titles that they've released, but they all look like they're free-to-play games with like in-app purchases.
Right. Yeah. The whole microtransaction thing is part of the reason people are a little concerned, is they don't want it to go that direction with Nintendo. But I mean,
Nintendo traditionally doesn't do that though.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't even really like DLC or anything like that. So, although they did do that for Mario Kart 8. So, it would be surprising to me if they went the microtransaction route.
I mean, when you're on the mobile platforms, in some ways, that's just the way that mobile business is done. But if they think they can make their money off just the purchase, just the flat purchase at the beginning, then yeah, sure, why not? Again, a lot of these, I don't think they were talking about necessarily porting. They're going to create new games, and those games will be specifically optimized to run on mobile. So it's going to be a totally different experience from things that you're probably used to with Nintendo.
We'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think they gave a timeline for any actual software releases, right? They just announced a partnership, and
I
that
don't
was
think so,
beginning.
yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Nintendo for so long has loved double dipping on the hardware and software side of things. It'll be weird to see them just getting software, but it could be just like back catalog classic title stuff.
Well, that's as far as I'm aware, they're talking about making new stuff.
New stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sure at some point there will be ports, but I mean, you can always just put an emulator on your phone, and then I mean, hypothetically,
not on iOS. Get out of here.
Right, not on iOS, because that would be ridiculous.
All right, Grump.
I'm not grumpy.
Grump.
I'm happy. I got an Android.
Grump.
So moving
I
on.
play my emulators in 360 degrees.
Grump, man.
Suck it.
And then you tape your phone to your face and wonder at the future.
Which, by the way, support for that stuff, I think, will be forthcoming for other platforms. Just throwing that out for the 360 video stuff.
Moving on, other news. This is an amazing stat to me. But like I said, the CounterStrike global offensive event that happened, I think, this past weekend, had more than 1 million concurrent viewers. 700,000 of which alone were on Twitch, which is that's a crazy amount of people watching an event. And looking at the pictures, is like, this seems massive.
Yeah, it was
people
huge.
who doubt that esports has taken, like, at this point you can't doubt that esports is a thing, because this isn't even the biggest event. Like, you look at, like, this is smaller than a Dota event would be.
Dude,
well, there was
look at
another
that
Dota
trophy.
event in the same city in Poland. It was like Katowice or something. I believe we've all gone back and forth on how to say it.
You made
had
it.
two huge events.
You made it as an event when your trophy could kill a yak.
I love, my favorite part of esports events is when they get the trophy, and then there's the people that are like, we hold it up, and then they get excited, and you can tell they're like still told to hold, and then they look like,
Can I put it down?
Do again? Like, just like a lot of
heavy.
awkward
Yeah.
trophy pumping, and like the big check comes out, and they're all just like, I don't want to be here anymore.
It's like, did you get the picture?
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like, oh, can you do it again? And they're like,
It's like
no,
it's like posing for a prom photo.
exactly.
You're hover handing the trophy.
That's what I want to see. I want to see somebody get out there and like just have fun with it. Do it.
But yeah, I played quite a bit of CSGO when it came out, but I haven't played it in a while, and that makes me, like, whenever there's a big Dota event, I'm like, oh, I want to play Dota. Whenever I see this, like, oh, I should go back and play some more CSGO. But I suck. It's hard playing CounterStrike for me, because I really enjoy the game, but I've always been so terrible. Even like before Source,
It is hard. It's hard to pick that game up with the kind of people that are playing it, because a lot of the casuals have pretty much fallen out of the game. So it is a fairly competitive game to just jump into at any point.
Mm-hmm.
That's the end of my statement.
That's the end of that.
And done.
And I have nothing more to say about it.
We talked about on Leaderboard, actually, like the map that they chose, Nuke, was incredibly controversial because of the way that it's balanced. But it was apparently, that's like a super old school map. So Jared, who was on, was talking about, I've been playing CSGO since it started. And he was like, I've known Nuke for forever. Like, the fact that they've had such a staying power at that game is incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, think about, like, CS 1.6 and then eventually Source. Like, I mean, those games are still played extensively, and totally different than Go or Global Offensive.
Go.
But yeah, I mean, it's a great game, but I suck. Maybe next time I'll just watch. Maybe that's what I'll do, is I'll just spectate.
Yeah.
And then it'd be like
because
I'm
that's as fun.
I can just hold like an unplugged controller and pretend that it's me. Like, look, I'm really good. Just full screen
so
this game.
awesome.
Oh, I'm doing so good.
Oh, I'm not as good now. Switch players. Ah, there we go.
We did a video that'll never see the light of day in which John Reisinger and I played CSGO, and it went so poorly. It was hilarious. It was like two children who had.
Well, now we
on.
have to put it out.
Nah, never.
Oh, we have to.
We got to see it.
Yeah. Oh, you should. It's hilarious. I've got a really great cut of it actually over my desk.
I'll watch it.
Out
I'll watch
later.
after this. So only a few minutes left. A couple of items I want to get through that I definitely want to talk
Should we
about.
mention our award?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we won
It's
an
been here the whole
award.
time. We never talk about it.
We according
That made
to,
no difference in this lighting.
It's the thing at the top.
It turns these
Yeah.
buttons on. According to South by Southwest Gaming Awards, we are the most valuable online channel.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay.
That's
that
cool.
That was
That's a
thing.
really cool trophy.
I mean,
Anything with a switch.
they did a lot of work. You can tell this carving with the wood. Even it's got this South by Southwest with
Yeah.
20
Also, this is
etched
a
in.
legit
laser
joystick.
etch.
Like,
yeah.
this actually is a
and
thing.
the buttons press.
I really want to cut a hole in the bottom and hook it up to a console of some kind.
What console uses two buttons?
It would
your
have to be
arcade
like an
stick.
NES.
Yeah. You are right. That does feel good.
It's
got a-
got
it's
Oh,
got
it
a good
says
click.
nice
Hold on,
click.
wait.
Yeah.
No, it's very satisfying.
Oh yeah, get it in the mic.
Yeah.
Somebody just came.
That's really perverted. So who was it? I saw this YouTube video that some people went around testing to try to figure out whether or not the police in Grand Theft Auto 5 were racist.
Yes.
They took, each of the 3 protagonists and had them do things to try and provoke the police in front of 3 different police stations all around Los Santos, and then recorded the results. And they found that both Franklin and Trevor got accosted 23 times, while Michael was only accosted 16 times. And
wow,
that's
a pretty big difference.
Yeah, they went up with, all of them wearing neutral clothing and went through like the same series of scenarios to try to provoke the police. And they said they don't know if it's just a coincidence or, who knows? There's so many variables to account for. And Rockstar has said that there is nothing in the game that would make the police racist or
specifically target
but
one.
Because this has come up more
character.
than once. This isn't the first thing to make this come up. When the game was first released, this was like a controversial topic that people were talking about, whether or not the cops in the game are racist.
Yeah. So
it looks like they just don't like some people, not necessarily by race.
Well, the people theorize. I mean, again, who knows? Rockstar said it doesn't happen. People said that maybe it's a socioeconomic thing, and that's why Franklin and Trevor are picked on, whereas Michael
you
is
see
not.
Franklin's house at the end. He's living in a nice place. It's got a pool.
Franklin was my favorite to play in Grand Theft Auto 5. Just because I like Chop, I think.
I was just about to say, what about Chop?
Yeah.
When I was watching Gavin play it, I was like, it'd be so cool if you could become Chop. And he was like, watch this. And he became Chop. Oh, blew my freaking mind.
I wonder if they tested it with Franklin with Chop and Franklin without Chop. Maybe dog lovers.
It was probably all without.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it was without, but maybe they should redo the test.
I feel like with Chop is even more intimidating. He's a Rottweiler.
He's just walking his dog.
No
Chop's
big
such
deal.
a sweetheart too.
Chop is pretty adorable.
I mean, he does
track down people. You as Chop
that,
find humans to attack, but
Yeah.
okay.
But he stops for a quick sex break on the way.
He does. He does have sex with another dog on the way.
I forget it. Can you still be in Chop when that happens? I think.
No, I think it takes you out of it.
Okay.
And the guy's like, Chop, what the hell? It's like,
I forgot about that part. That's another game I want to go back. Even though I've already played it. That's why it keeps sliding down my list. I still want to play it, GTA 5 on Xbox One or PS4.
Well, now you can heist. They just released, I think, a stability patch too that makes it a little bit more reliable. We were not able to get from one part of Heist into the next part of Heist without me being kicked off Xbox Live. So that was fun.
Is that
people
fixed
may
now?
have wondered, yeah, we actually our second Heist went up. Part 1 went up Monday. Part 2 is going up today. Today being Wednesday, and Part 3 is going to go up on Monday. And the reason that it's so spread out is because it was so hard to get through the whole thing, and it's really long. I mean, each part is about half an hour long.
the incident that happened, was it yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday was even better. So they released the patch, and we're like, okay, we're finally getting through last. We tried to get through the finale. I think we had 9 parts so far. Some of those are just us screwing up, but in most cases it was we got to a certain point in the heist, and then it dropped. One person would get kicked out, and that ends the heist. So yesterday they released the patch. We go in, get ready to do it. We're like halfway into the finale of it, and the power in the entire building goes out.
I just blinked just enough to fuck him, and then came back on.
And it turns out everybody was fine but Ray.
Oh my! I was gonna
Ray's
say,
console not on a UPS.
I say
Apparently,
you all should be on UPSs.
We are. Ray wasn't.
I remember when the lights blinked and thinking, "Oh, thank God I'm on a UPS."
Actually, I think Ray's may just not be working. I think he just plugged into
I
it.
know,
But
you didn't know that it literally was like, we were
the
like,
sound.
we were like, oh, the lights went out. And then you just hear like this ungodly sound from Jeff, like, God damn it!
Jeff just bellows in rage. It was like the Balrog. He jumps up and like punts the couch. I mean, it was just so infuriating because we're in part 9. And finally, it was supposed to work. And then the power goes out. It's like a bolt of lightning from God saying, no, thou shalt not heist.
So we have kind of shitty power in this building, but it's rare for it to just go out
Absolutely
like
right.
that.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember it ever happening while I've been in the building
You guys
before.
started. It wasn't even like pouring or anything outside. It
No.
was just like a sprinkle
And I
a
don't
big
think-
fuck you from the universe.
I don't think it even went out for a second.
No,
it was
literally
like
like
a half second. Yeah.
Like, just a little dip.
And after that, too, we couldn't all get in the same game. We had to all, whenever that happens, whenever we have someone drop, the only way for us to all get in the game again is for everyone to power cycle their Xboxes. And I don't just mean like turn it off. I mean hold down the button until it goes completely off. And then when we turn it back on, we get back into GTA, and then we're fine. But yeah, no, so that was frustrating. We did finish it, though. So Monday, finale, Heist 2 done.
Good.
God, that was so funny.
So we're pretty much at time. One more thing I want to mention before we go. I did a no video with the Funhouse guys about Star Citizen reportedly will be over 100 gigabytes of files once installed on your computer, which is crazy. I guess they're making all 8K textures.
It's like, 1 gigabyte of data for every $1 million invested in that game at this point.
There you go.
Well, you know what? I'm glad it's going to be so big because that means it's going to.
I want to zoom way in.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty. Then you got to have all those those damage engines and all of that stuff. Yeah, you gotta have tons of data.
Also, I know you're excited. Oculus support. Come on.
Fix it so I can wear it with eyeglasses. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. If you're watching the live stream right now and you're a sponsor, we're going to go through the credits. Stay here. We're going to come back and talk about How to Fool Boyfriend. If you're watching this on our website or YouTube, listening to the audio, whatever. All right.
There will be a version of it that's released.
Yeah, you'll be able to watch
it. It comes
out.
out. Don't worry.
If you're watching on YouTube, just look for the video. It should be the next one after this. If you're listening to the audio version, you'll hear it immediately after we're done here. So we'll see you guys in a bit. Bye.